Hello, this is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. So happy to be joined today by Eilbron Khoshabeh, who is VP of Sales with BZBGEAR. Topic of conversation is, of course, AV over IP, aligning with our AV over IP deep dive, which will be all over commercialintegrator.com throughout the month of March and in the March issue of CI plus SSI. Everyone seems to be talking about AV over IP these days. We want to bring together thought leaders in the industry, thought leaders like Eilbron and BZBGEAR to talk about the trends that are going on in our industry today. Thank you so much, Eilbron, for being here.
Hey Dan, thanks for having me. Appreciate for the opportunity and opportunity to talk about the AV over IP and what's going on in today's AV industry.
Well, you're 100% right that AV over IP really does seem to be shaping today's audiovisual industry. Just got back a few weeks ago from ISC in Barcelona, a place, incidentally, where BZBGEAR won multiple of our top new technology awards. So congratulations for that. Do you want to talk a little bit about AV over IP and why it is such a hot topic, why it is such a hot trend? What does it unlock on the integrator side, on the end user side? Why is this such a hot topic right now?
Oh, that's great. I mean, there are so many ways to talk about the AV over IP. I think it's better to mention that AV over IP started from 2010 when HDBaseT was actually leading, and there were also other ways of distributing the audio video. They were back in the time VGA, component composite, S video, type of the metric switchers around, and they were all built in based on number of the input and output on the closed system. So what AV over IP did, it was able to kind of scale up that and make it easier for control, make it easier to add multiple sources, multiple displays per number that you needed. Also introduced a new way of controlling the products and create this friendship or partnership between the AV guys and IT guys to make them work together and build these systems using the existing systems are in place and be able to control remotely or through the system to manage the video or audio. As well, it gives some opportunity to send, to create the video walls, multi-views, KVMs, all in through the IP system.
So I know there are some members of the integration channel who may be a little bit skittish or cautious about AV over IP. It may be a little bit outside of their wheelhouse, but it really does have some features and advantages and benefits that are really hard to overlook. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh yeah, of course. That's a typical question we hear from traditional AV guys, and also it's a point that IT guys bring on the table when they are trying to use more AV over IP compared to other technologies. One of the ways is the transmission method of video over AV over IP. As the name says, it's through the IT. It's through the IP. So that's one of the advantages. You have an existing networking structure, just use and utilize that to transmit your video audio. Another thing is scalability of the solution. So with the AV over IP, you're not limited to the point to endpoints. You can always scale up, add additional network switchers, and reach out to actually longer distance with bridging between a couple network switchers. Bandwidth is also another point that you get a little bit higher bandwidth through AV over IP compared to for example, HDBaseT or other solutions. Yes, there are some latencies available, but actually the latency is available through other platforms too. With the SDVoE or with advanced AV over IP systems, you can minimize the latency. For example, our IP gear has a 2-frame latency, which is great for what it can do. Again, the cost also is another factor that AV over IP overcomes when it comes to the large platforms. With the AV over IP, actually you can minimize the cost of the system. So those are the things I believe we can discuss and point out about advantage of the AV over IP.
Now, I talked about, for example, winning 4 top new technology awards. So clearly, BZB Gear is a technology leader. I think we all recognize that. So let's talk about your technology leadership in the AV over IP realm. I think there are 2 series, VOP series, which is the older one, and the IP Gear Pro series, which is the newer one. Why don't you talk about those in turn and let us know about how BZB Gear is really leveraging the opportunity that AV over IP presents?
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we do have 2 models currently with the AV over IP, but we are planning to add a little bit more different technologies. Right now, all our technologies are based on 1G solution. So we are using ASPID technology with our AV over IP systems. Our VPOMT, the chipset from ASPID, was developed back in 2015. It was able to actually send 4K process the 4K terahertz signal, and then in 2022 ASPID introduced a new chipset which will process the 4K 60 hertz and also reduce the latency. So we are currently working with these 2 models, but we are planning to utilize video AV over IP with our camera lines for a conferencing or broadcasting. As well, we are planning to incorporate some SDVoE solutions in the future to have a more diverse way of doing the video, audio video over IP. Currently also we're using NDI and Dante AV, which are IP streaming platforms with our existing camera lines.
So you mentioned HD-based-T, you mentioned SDVoE, you mentioned Dante, you mentioned NDI. It really seems kind of like an all-of-the-above approach. It really seems like you're partnership-minded, where you're going to go where people are and you're going to meet them where their needs are, rather than saying they have to come to you and only work with one approach or protocol or standard.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, to be honest, you can use either of these technologies for any sort of applications. Yes, it's like NDI is very well known for a broadcasting and live streaming solutions. But to be honest, you can still use the NDI for rerouting any video audio systems to remote locations using the encoder or decoders that they are available in the market. On the other hand, also Dante AV is also very popular and kind of competing straight with HD-based SDVoE and other platforms. And what it does is bring us all the audio video popular technologies together and make it much easier to control both video and audio and manage those and reroute the video and audio independently to any of the points needed.
Well, Eilbron, for those who want to learn more about BZB Gear, about your technology leadership, about your growing AV over IP family, what's the best way to do that? How can people learn more, especially dealers and integrators who might want to start leveraging the power of what you can deliver?
Well, the best way is to just go on bzbgear.com, and then you have multiple ways to contact us. You can use the chat section on our website to have a live interactive with our agents, and as well you can call or email us, email to sales@bzbgear or info@bzbgear, or call us. That would be those will be the ways to reach out to us. Also, we will be at the upcoming shows. We'll be at NAB, we'll be at Infocom, we'll be at the HIMSS, ISC, IBS. So you can check our trade show schedules as well as on our website as well.
I look forward to taking time and visiting with BZB Gear at each of those shows. Always so much fun to check out the new technology, see the evolving and growing product lines. But thank you so much, Eilbron, for being here. I really do appreciate the run through.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you so much for having me.
Such a pleasure to be joined by Eilbron Khoshabeh, who is VP of Sales for BZB Gear. My name is Dan Ferrisi, Group Editor, Commercial and Security with Emerald. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video interview, part of our AV over IP deep dive, which will be all over the website throughout the month of March, as well as in the March issue of CI plus SSI. Please do check out commercialintegrator.com each and every day in the weeks and months ahead for more coverage of AV over IP and leading vendors within it, vendors like BZB Gear. Until then, thank you again for tuning in.